Oftentimes, I've known people asking how long it takes to learn English. Out of the population of almost 8 billion people in the world, apart from the native speakers, of course, everybody wants to learn English. And a question that pops up every now and then is exactly how long it takes. In fact, there are online courses that guarantee that they can make you fluent in months, and sometimes they do. But what's really the catch here? Because even in the same course, there would be people who wouldn't be able to do it in the same timeline. So exactly how long it takes to learn English, to be fluent at it? And the answer is, it's up to you. Now it's very boring to hear it and absolutely not exciting enough for you to keep going with this video, but please just hear me out. And it's not just to get you to watch this video till the end, but because by the time you reach the end of this video, you will have another way to look at the whole thing, another a bit clearer perspective. Do you remember how you started off with English? I remember how it started with me. It started as a language class, and this language always lived within the confines of those few minutes, just one period, that's it. Of course, if you're not a native speaker, that is, because if you are a native speaker, you would have speaking and listening abilities, in English. But if you are not a native speaker, then these are things that you would be doing in your native language, and you wouldn't be learning English until you go to school. So like I said, it started with just one class, one language class, and that was a good start. But after a while, every subject we read, it was all in English. It's like it seeped into everything else around it. And to be honest, it was making things easier to understand, because one word could be said in so many different ways in so many different languages, and English generalized things. I mean, who could know it better than us? Because we as Indians know that there are so many cultures and so many languages inside this one country itself, and one word can be said in multiple different ways, and it would be impossible for other person, the person from another culture, to be able to understand that. So in a way, you can say that English generalized things. So that's how it started, and then we appeared our exams, and then we forgot about it, that was the end, for most at least. But after some time, to appear an exam or to find another job or for some other reason, we want to learn English, we want to learn this language, and we see other people being so good at it, and we think, how hard could it be? If I'm being honest, to be honest, I can say that this is not at all hard. In fact, English is the simplest second language to learn. But like I was describing my own experience, let me make one thing clear first, and that is, I didn't feel like I was getting better at this language until I started thinking about it beyond the confines of those few minutes. The few minutes, the language class that I talked about before. I didn't feel like I was making progress with it until I started thinking about it beyond the confines of those few minutes. I know I just repeated what I said before, but that is the truth. Now, you need to know that there is no shortcut when it comes to doing anything worthwhile. And most people forget that they are talking about a language here. Now, let's take an example. Let's say you want to learn German. Now, you will set your expectations accordingly, right? Because you know that this is an alien language, this is not your native language. But when it comes to English, people often think that this is going to be easy, this is going to happen overnight, like maybe in a week or a month. But that's not the case. It almost always happens with English that just because people have some experience with English, just because they have studied it as a subject while they were in school or college, they stop thinking about it as a language. They think it's just another subject like maths or science that they can master in, maybe a week or a month. But you need to remember that it is a language. Now, I must tell you that it's not as hard as German or any other language in the world for that matter. In fact, it's way easier. Like I said, it's the simplest second language to learn. But you need to give it time. You need to keep trying, a little bit every day. Now, it is the easiest second language to learn, yes, but it is going to take time. You need to give it time. It's like building a muscle, it's like a muscle that will store everything you learn about English. It's not maths or science that you can just learn through formulae. It's not something that you can just mug up overnight and expect to get better at it. It is a language, and it is going to take time. that is the first ever fact that you need to accept while learning English, that it is something that's going to happen over time and you need to have patience and give it that time. If you want to learn English and be fluent at it, give it that time, give yourself that time, believe that you can, and keep trying every day. Because just like any other skill, the only way to get better at it is with consistent practice. Now, I know when people hear that it needs some time every day, they imagine sitting down with a book in their hand for a couple hours every day and then forget about it until the next time they open the book. But you need to remember that it's a language. It's not just like any other subject. It is a language. It's way easier than holding a book for a couple hours every day, because it's not about just practice, it's about being conscious about it. Like I said before, even though I was learning English in those early few years, I didn't feel like I was making progress with it until I made it a part of myself. Now, I know it sounds super cheesy and super weird, and why would you want to do that, And you're probably wondering right now why you are even listening to me, watching this video, and I understand. But believe me when I say that learning a language is like getting to know another person. You know what? Let's say there is someone you like, there is a person that you like, and you don't know much about them, but you want to know more about them. So you meet them for some time and then you think about them, maybe not consciously, but they're always in the back of your mind. And maybe not always, but every now and then they keep popping up and you can't ignore. Now, even if you don't know them that well, you keep trying to find ways to know them. And the more you know them, the more you like them. Now, that's not how it goes all the time, but you know what I mean. It's just the same when it comes to learning a language or any skill for that matter. You will start and you will keep going. You will have progress, that's for sure. Not in a day, not in a week, but it will happen. Then there will come a time when you will be fluent and you will want to know even more about it, just like a person. I mean, no matter how well you think you know someone, there's always something about them that you don't know yet. That's the same with English as well. I mean, I don't think there's anyone in the world who can say that they know everything there is to know about English. I mean, it keeps evolving, just like a person. So there's always room to grow. You just have to have the desire to know it. The rest will come easy. Because see, language is something that we use every day anyway. And everything we see or hear or read or write, it can all be expressed in English as well, as it's just another way to say the same thing. Say there's a word that you're looking for or some grammar that makes you feel like you're wrong. Look it up on Google. The moment you have a question, look it up. The answers are literally right there in your hand. I mean, nowadays it's just way too easy. Everybody has a mobile and an internet connection, so there is nothing that is hard to find. Every time you have a doubt or a question, just look it up. Give it a try, maybe for a month. Believe me, this way you will find answers, and the more answers you will find, the more you will want to look up. And that's how you learn, by wanting to learn. So that's it for today, guys. I hope I delivered what I promised you at the beginning of this video. I hope now you won't look at it as just another subject, but a language. And I hope now you understand that a language can be a part of life. Because, I mean, can you imagine your life without the language you speak in right now? Your native language? It's almost impossible, isn't it? It's just the same with English as well. It's another language. It's another way to express the same things that you speak in your language. And even though English is not your native or your first language, you have some experience with it. You already know more than you think you do. You just need to try and express yourself in English just like you would in any other language, maybe your native language. And of course, you will make mistakes, a lot of it, and that's okay. You need to believe that it's okay to make mistakes, and in due time, you will get there. And for some reason, if you have already started on this journey, if you have already started trying to learn English, then you are well on your way. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you liked this video, and if you think you did, then give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.